Hello, it is I, Mr. Nick. I'm going to do another tutorial if you want to follow along, because I'm enjoying this, it's a laugh. This one is going to be a TIE fighter, a very low poly TIE fighter. The detail we'll add using the bump, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to make something like this. I might even add a bit of detail here, but we'll see how long this takes. But it doesn't take long at all to make something like this. So without further ado, let us get cracking. So we might as well start with the sphere. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a UV sphere, and then before we touch anything else, down here, add UV sphere, take the segments down to 12. Okay, and then rotate that on the X by 90, and then we've got this shape. And if you look at the reference pictures, we have the window is about this size. I mean, get your own reference pictures, there's plenty of them, but the central window is about this size. So I would like to just grab these faces and extrude inwards with E, and I'm going to put a loop there, and I'm just going to grab this loop and then just extrude it outwards like this, okay? And then if we just plump a subdivision surface on, crank it up to 3, and then just to remove all this this smoothing, just put a loop there and a loop there. Okay, so that's the port, the window port. To get the little cross section, all we need to do is we need to select, in fact if I turn off the subdivision surface, so I'm just going to select every other one of these. So we'll have, how many is that? 7? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. So just select these 6, oh excuse me, unselect those middle ones, and just double click select this ring here. So you've just got one of each here, and then they join this ring here. And if you press Shift D and then press Enter and then press P selection, we are separating that bit that we just took out. Okay, and now we want to make that geometry, so go into your modifiers, add a skin, tab into edit mode, select all the vertices, and then just press Ctrl A and drag that down. It does do weird things because it's to solidify, but what I tend to do is look at the messing up of the geometry there and just try and find a happy medium. Oh, there, that looks alright. It's about the right thickness as well. So that's lovely. And then apply, we don't need this subdivision surface, not on that, so we can X on that and just apply that skin. And if we go into modifiers again, plop a bevel on, I always drag it all the way to 0 and then shift right click because I just want a bit, and then I'm going to up the segments to make it a bit tidier. So once we click on our body again, okay, and we'll come to texturing in either it will be the end of this or a second part, but that's all we need to do for a now. So now we need to do a wing. So we want we'll start with a plane, Shift A, plane, RX 90, and let's just move it up on the Z. Just no, don't do that. Don't do that. Scale it up in position to about there, I guess. And if you just press the solo key, which is that one, backspace next to Z, we're just working with this. So the first thing we want to do is subdivide this. And did I do it twice? I think I need to do it twice, yeah. Okay, and I'm going to go directly into front view. So now I want to take these 4 corners and just press S. No, I'm selecting edges, just the vertices, sorry, not the edges. So I'm just selecting these 4 in the end, and I'm bringing them in so that they're semi-straight. And on the TIE fighter, the front and back, if you select these 3 and these 3 and just press SZ, they're more like that. So that just means now we edit these to make them straight lines again, just by selecting all 4 and pressing S until they look about straight. And that looks about straight. And then in your modifiers, add a solidify, just give it a bit of thickness, brush, and then Control A over that, so we get geometry. And then on this edge here, if you put a loop cut there and then press Control B, and then just we want a bit to scale out. We want a bit to extrude out, but we don't want it to extrude on the Y axis, left and Y. If we look up here, we're on the Y. So if I press ES Shift Y, then it's doing exactly what I want. So it just gives it a little funky bevel. Okay. Now we can get out of first thingy mode. If we press RZ 90 and just move it over, that might be a little too thick. So I'm just going to SX scale that on the X a bit. It's probably about the right distance. And then if you plop a mirror modifier on it, and under here, mirror object, select the sphere, boom, we get that. Okay. Now we want to create because if, as you said, everyone knows what they look like. We've got this area here that's black. So what we need to do is go directly into side view, because we want to select the faces on this side and this side, because it's pretty much the same both sides. So go into side view and then into X-ray bunk, because as I say, we want to select. I'll just press C. When I need to select a bunch, I'll just press C. But if you press C to select, or if you need to select these faces in X-ray, just be aware that this tiny black dot right here, if you're not on that, it won't select the face. So you have to include the black dot that's in the center of the whole thing. Okay, that'll do it. Alt Z, get out of thingy. Oh, hello. I didn't want that bit. If you've still got the thingy selected like I have, just make sure the middle faces aren't. I might actually just rotate that. Well, this is a waste of time, isn't it? Hopefully you won't have, you probably have kept this selected. I just missed a face. It'll do. Okay, let me just check. Yeah, so we don't want any other face other than those two middle bits. And if we go into thingy mode, front view, and press ESX, we're going to scale both of those together on the X. I just used Shift. That didn't work. No. Crap. Scrap that. Before you press ESX, if you did press Control Z, press I, because we're going to inset like that. Now, if we press ESX, we can inset that a little, and that will be inset on both sides, like this. Okay? So now we've got those bits sorted. Now for these bits, the cross kind of section, we just need to add a plane. Shift A, mesh, plane. Tab into edit mode, select them all with A, and then mesh, merge at center. And then I'm going to Alt Z into X-ray mode so I can see this clearly. And then I'm going to move that vertex over, go into side view, and just move this vertex to about here. And I just want to extrude it with E up to the top right corner. And then all we got to do is add a mirror, and we're going to use, for the mirror object, we'll use the wing and then drop another mirror on, this time change that to Y, and we're going to use the wing again. So there is those bits. And if we press skin and then tab into edit mode, select all of them with A, and then Control A, probably about that. Yeah, that's nice. Alright. Okay, and then just go back into thingy mode. And if you Shift D that object, but delete the second mirror, and then rotate that and just make it nice and parallel, and drop that in there like this. Okay, back at thingy, and then I'm going to select both of those and move it on the X axis. It seems that they might be going a bit too far over, so I'm going to press no, I can't yet because we need to apply this. Let me just see what I can get away. So if I keep GX, I just want it teetering over the top. We'll fix that in a second, but let's get the mirror sorted. So now we've got those. In fact, let's just skin it. So click this one and apply the skin and the mirror, and then click this one and the same thing, skin, mirror, mirror, and shift click that and Control J. So now it's one thing. And I think it's a bit too fat, so I'm going to head into front view, just bring that out, and I'm going to press SX. Oh, hang on, where's the origin? So I just need to move the origin. So object, set origin, origin to geometry. So I think that's probably about as thin as I want it. And I'm just going to plop that in. Too far. I'll do it. And then add another mirror. And again, we're going to use the wing. And this should be on the Z. Wait. Where's the origin for this? Hold up, hold up. No, let's do it the other. No, I know what's happening there. So this is what I'm trying to do. So, not the wing. Select as the mirror object the thing. And then all we need to do is just Alt-D, because we can clone this, move it on the X, and just bring it on the inside. Can't quite see. GX. Okay. Right. And now we can... I think what we should do is grab your wing and then double click this loop and this loop, and then just press ESX. We're going to scale them a little bit further out just so they cover the top, because then it looks better. Yeah. And then these are all copies, so I'm going to go into X-ray mode and just bring down these guys back out of X-ray mode so that they sit in there. That should have fixed all of them. No, almost. So yeah, so these ones as well. I'm just going to select those vertices. Oh, GY, and I'm just going to pull them in there. How you looking? Do the same over here. There's probably a better way if I hadn't have taken the vertices so far out when I was skinning them, but it's cool. So if you press GG, by the way, double G, it will move the vertices on their normal direction, which is very helpful. Okay, let's have a look. Let's just put a quick material, although we'll do material I think in the next episode. We'll just build it here and just make it a darker color and just crank up metallic. And with those selected, if you shift select all of them, everything else, and then I believe object, or is it, yeah, it's definitely object, relations, I always link transfer data, link materials. Okay, so now we've got something better to look at. We're not far off. So what we can do now is just add these little bits in the middle. So Shift A, mesh cube, scale it down, move it over, and then just scale it on the X so that it's there, although it wants to sit in the geometry. And put a loop cut in the middle. I'm going to go into normal mode. I don't know why I'm editing this. I'm going to select all these and just press S. Probably even that a bit as well. As I say, this is very, very low poly. And then just dump bevel on it. That'll do it. And put a mirror on it. And then again use the body as the center. What I haven't done yet is sort out this bit in the middle of the wings that kind of extrudes outwards and connects these pipey bits. So head into side mode, Alt Z for X-ray, and we just want to select this whole square in the middle and just scale it, but press Shift X because we don't want them to scale together on the X. Okay, and then grab the four corner vertices and press S again, press Shift X. We don't want them to scale towards each other. Okay, and then yeah. So back in X-ray, just select these four middle faces on both sides, and then we want to press ESX because we want it to scale apart on the X, and press I for inset, and then we're just going to scale this apart from each other so we get a kind of bevel, SX, and then if we press I again and then just press ESX, scale it out, and then press S to scale it down. Bosh. There we go. That's it. I think that's done. Oh, let me just get the right material on that. Materials, link, materials. as I say, the material will be in the next one. We'll look at making it look nicer, and I mean, you've seen how we'll fix that. You know, you just grab the vertices and drag them out the window, out of the way. All right, wicked. Okay, so that's all you needed for the actual shape of it. For the next part, we'll move on to the material. So hopefully I'll see you in the next part. Until then, I've been Nick, you've been you. Thumbs up. See you in a bit. Bye.